Yeah, fucking. I've started using the hot and cold water therapy there as well. It's good. It's good.
It is.
But
especially their particular like cold therapy tank, because it's like an acid bath.
Yeah, they're fucking.
One of my friends said it's literally the one they melt bodies with the cartels. Literally just chuck them in that. I think the metal part makes it even colder.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I went yesterday, mate. It was fucking freezing, absolute. But I enjoyed it, and it's good for me, especially this moment in time.
Well, it just takes you to that place, that space, isn't it?
Yeah,
silent space in between thoughts.
Well, we're back where we were, mate. You were one of the OGs of the podcast.
Well, can I say just how incredibly proud I am to sit facing you now in this situation, because I know how much of a dream this is for you, and it's like dawning into reality now. So well done, Liam. So I'm so proud of your journey and how far you've come, because obviously I've seen both sides of the coin.
Yeah, you see me when I was at my fucking worst as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen the breakthroughs, and now this is the fruition of all of that, really. It's kind of dawned to this, isn't it?
It's mad, mate, because like we were speaking before, it's weird how where I was, say, 3 years ago when I used to come in the gym off my nut or not been to sleep. Now I'm doing a psychology master's.
Let's say, but all lessons,
Yeah.
all pointed you, weirdly, in that same direction.
Yeah.
So it's just you explored it from an experiential perspective.
Yeah.
You've got to live it before you can teach it. Literally, this is the thing. You've got to know in your bones what the whole experience is about to be able to talk and relate to people properly. And that's what this whole show's about, isn't it?
There's a guy, a friend of mine, a psychotherapist from the Key, Dan. Do you know Dan Phillips?
I probably know him by
You probably know him.
You know me.
But like he's doing his doctorate in psychology, but he said the thing is, like, you've got lived experience.
Literally.
So you understand when somebody comes to you and think they're contemplating doing whatever. You know, I'm not going to put words in people's mouths, but if they've got an issue, I've lived very similar experiences.
Well, it's having that empathetic perspective with people, and it's only like seeing yourself in those same shoes is having that. And this is the secret. This is what we're all going through now. Everyone's feeling each other's pain, and it's important to have that compassion. It's really a secret to how we go forward in the future. We've got to start looking out for each other and standing as one human family.
Yeah,
literally.
I agree with that. I always remember something you told me, right? And it sounded absolutely fucking ludicrous at the time when you said it. Yeah. Because I wasn't on that same sort of wavelength as you, let's say. I remember you talking, it was 2000 and, I'm going to say 20.
Yeah.
And you said to me, there's something happening. And I remember you were talking about something called the Grand Central Sun or something like that at the time. I still don't know what that bit means.
Yeah.
I still don't know.
Well, we have two suns. One you can see, one you can't, basically.
Yeah. And that's what you were saying, right? And this has stuck with me ever since you said it. You said something's about to happen where people will either get stuck in the life that they live,
literally,
or they're going to become
elevated
to this new frequency, this new reality, whatever you want to call it.
You can see it blossoming now.
But I can see it now. I can see it. It gives me goosebumps talking about this because I believe I'm in. Well, I don't believe. I know.
Well, you can feel it.
Yeah,
it's in the air. It's tangible now. Things are happening, and we are going for a period of chaos. But it's only clearing. It's a reset, literally. But it's a reset, hopefully, in the right direction. The thing is, anyone who knows the situation, the cards have been laid bare now. We can see what the game is, but the game's up, and it's time for people. And it's only the fact that we can actually see it happening before our eyes. And that's the thing now. It comes down to that choice. Do you want to stay like that, or do you want to go to the next level? And
what do you think allows people to consciously decide, like I did, for instance, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to elevate. I want to start living a life of purpose, of meaning, identity, and who I am. How do you think that comes across? Where did
everything in life is literally a lesson. Everything is there for you, not against you, not battling against you. It's just that people have to realize how powerful they are because this whole thing about creating reality goes both ways. So if you're of a negative perspective, obviously in that lower energy, the universe is unconditional. So it's going to give you that reality. But what you've got to tune into is the fact that you can create that better reality from yourself first, and then you see it echoing in the outside world. But this all comes through our lessons and choices in life. Life is it's just a series of choices, one way or the next. And that's the thing with trauma. It can either go rock bottom and start like digging that hole, or you can use it to empower you. And that's the thing. Like in my life, I've been both ways with it, really. Like back when I was younger, like led by ego, I did dig a hole. And it's a part of my life that a lot of people don't know about, but it's kind of what made me today, really.
I remember the last time we did the podcast. Again, you don't have to. Is that something you can address now?
Well, this is the thing. Like everything, like molds us in life, I suppose.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So, like when I was like very young, and this is the thing. Like it's only like through me exploring my own Akash and like going back to that like childhood, visiting that fractured little lad scared to death, that you can like start to heal these parts of your subconscious mind. Because what people have to remember is that when you go through these things, and guys are like really guilty of it, is to bury it deep down, but it's still part of your subconscious. Unless this is addressed through inner work, then it's never going to get solved. The whole process of enlightenment is just lightening your load. So it's just like literally like peeling off these onion layers. Like mine started pretty early because like what happened was I think I was like kicked in the ball, like literally when I was like in junior school. And what this did was literally I developed like a lump, and say you just brush things off, don't you?
Yeah.
But over the years, this became horrible, and say it was becoming a real issue, and I was getting really scared at a very young age and facing like big questions and issues like suicidal thoughts at a very young age. And this is taking me back now. And
I can see it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, when you've got a really loving family, and I'm the type of person who always thinks of others, and you can never burden. The thing is with suicide, like when you get like proper spiritual insight, you discover suicide is an actual spiritual choice on the other side. But from my perspective, I couldn't burden my family. My mum was going through cancer at the time for the first time. She's on her fourth time now, by the way. But that just proves the resilient character she is. So I knew I couldn't go that way. So what I tried to do was just literally build an armour plate. And so this is why I got into training. And this was back in like the 80s, so there was no such thing as social media. And that's once I ducked out of school, that was it. I was in the shadows from like 15 to like freaking 20. And all I did was bury myself in the gym and learn my sport. I had to focus on something else to be able to create something else. Because otherwise, going the other direction, I was going to end up dead. This was before, there was no drugs or anything involved. I was a natural bodybuilder. And through that dedication, and this is where I learned through discipline back from when I was like 14, 15, because I wasn't able to live that normal life as a teenager. So I spent it literally becoming a warrior, really, and to build the armor plating. And the thing is, yeah, to my armor plating to a degree, but it's also a defensive quality as well, I agree. Yeah. Obviously. And but I knew I could heal. This was the thing. I always had this like inherent belief, this innate feeling that, yeah, I could get better. It's like, because that's the thing. I didn't want to go to the doctors. You know, you're scared to death in that situation, especially when it's that area. So, yeah, I sat it out and I'll give you another month. I'll give you another month. And that's the thing. By the time I got to my early 20s, I was on the healing path, and as I had become British champion, natural, drug-free. And I was set on a completely different dream then. So I did literally change my reality at that point through what I was doing. I give myself the tools to be able to become stronger, like from it really, instead of it taking me the other way. And then I started to develop a normal life then, like through it. And you say like a few girlfriends, but it wasn't that long into my early 20s. I met my beloved wife to be, Sue, who completely changed my life. And that's the thing, like with Vaughn. And she was such an angel, like for me, like saved me at that point, unknowingly. And like numerous times, like in our relationship, in our long marriage, you say that you know how, like, as if it's not for your partner, sometimes we would be dead, literally. And she like saved me like so many times, like mentally and physically. Like physically, like when my appendix burst, I thought that was a muscle strain, and if it wasn't for her phoning the ambulance, then I would be dead. So it's like another time like she saved me. But like I said, like it's all lessons in life, and it's one way or the other, really. But like, thank God I chose the other direction and to start fighting, and that's what gave me warrior like instincts and abilities now. That's why I've got that massive like strength within. That's why I developed it in those teenage years. Yeah. So instead of wasting it like down the pub, like partying with mates, I was literally in a state of trauma, training for my life, literally. And
that's powerful.
Bon changed my life. She just made everything seem okay Beautiful. Again. And yeah, with Bon, especially at first, because we fell in love. And the first couple of years as well. Like we nearly got married on television. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Really, it was that type of roller coaster, like romantic, like relationship, and it's just one thing after another. And like we were just this magical team, and it didn't seem like what we decided to do. We just made it a reality.
Yeah, man.
And he said this led to us nearly getting married on television. We were on like the Big Breakfast, like Von was on like various like game shows, and we were like living that little life of like weirdly like celebrity for that time. But this was also around the time of the clubbing generation.
Yeah.
So that led me down another path.
Did it?
Yeah. So that's the thing, because I kind of got that confidence. I had like my missus and everything. The clubbing scene back then was. That's the thing, like they do talk about like clubs and that today, but this was the birth of the dance generation. So yeah, I was thankful to be able to live that. And it's great at the time, but you say when that music fades after, and that's when I went through my real trauma, really. And I think it's just the fact there was an addictive personality. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's training, food, coffee, smoking, all drugs. And that's the thing, like it's a hole that you dig with it. And times of years it was great with Vaughn, but I say I kind of started like digging a hole for myself around that time. Like, and I went from this like national level competitive bodybuilder to people not even recognizing me, because I'd kind of like
Did you recognize yourself?
Lost my identity. When you get people who knew you for years previously walking up to you in the street and not even recognizing you because of the difference between the two, that's pretty hard to take. But like I was saying to you earlier, mate, it's all a lesson. And slowly but surely, I started to repiece everything together. And the massive changing point in my life was when my kids were born. Because of what had gone in the past, I didn't think I could ever have kids.
Yeah,
I thought that would be just a fantasy, but that became a miracle come true. So that was the rebirth of me as a father, and this led to me like working in with kids and that. And I say, just when you have kids, obviously you know this. When you look in their eyes and see yourself looking back at yourself, you know. It's not about you anymore. So you start to lose this selfish nature, because all your life is depend on this child. and say, I will do anything for this child. I'd die for this child right in this moment. That's how otherworldly it is, like when you have kids, isn't it? Because you've kind of passed on your genes, like, to that next generation.
Somebody else said the same thing last week. I'd die for my child. And we all would. But then the guy who's mentoring me asked me, but would you live for them? And that was a really powerful question for me.
It's a real powerful statement.
Because for me, even when my kids were born, I do see myself them. But I think that was a lot of my insecurities when I was growing up, and even as a father, because I was a dad at 19. And you try and relive your youth the right way through their eyes, do you know what I mean? Or I did, at least.
We try.
We try. But I think that was obviously a big mistake on my behalf. Not intentionally, but it was. Not looking back now. I feel as though I say we, I mean me. I tried to bring my children up the way society told me to. Knowing what I know now, I'd have done it completely different. But that's life, lessons, right?
Yeah, literally.
When I just wanted to go back where you got quite emotional at the beginning. Was it because of that reason? Now that you've said that, there was this emotion around maybe I won't be able to have children when I'm older. Was it?
Yeah, I felt like my life was on the line, and I was literally training for my life.
Do you believe you still got that in you, Daz? Do you believe you still got that same mentality when it comes to your training? Because we all know your training is fucking legendary.
The awesome thing with my training, and you got to remember, this stems from back in the 80s, training was different.
Yeah.
There wasn't any social media. So that's the thing we were growing up in an age where action heroes were celebrated. And this was the thing. This is what got me out of the hole. And when you had that Rocky, like, feeling, anything was possible. So that's what got me out of the hole. The fact that I was surrounded by a generation who wanted to train. And that's the thing. I was into martial arts. It was all Karate Kid time, blood sports and everything. That's the thing. Like, when you were with your mates, like back then, we never had PlayStation computers. So we were in the woods playing Manhunt and Call of Duty for real, building shelters, real life skills.
Well, my generation,
chased by police every night. Chill out.
Well, but my generation was the last generation to do that. We would.
Exactly.
Do you still feel like you're training for your life? I still feel like there's a bit of that in there.
No, it's based on a real passion and a love.
A love of the sport.
A love of the sport. A real genuine love of the sport that comes back from them. This is that old school feeling that everyone talks about now, and why the kids can't relate, because that's the thing. Like, back then, all we had was the magazines. So we had these awesome heroes to aspire to be like. So all we did was mimic what they did. Now it's every Tom, Dick and Harry on social media pretending to be the expert. But we know there's very few of them, really. So it's really only the older guys who've lived it he can really listen to and get solid advice from. But that's the thing. I have a real passion for what I do. And it's based on the fact that at my age now, I'm literally trying to prove what is possible at my age. I know that anything is possible in this reality. So, yeah.
How old are you now, Daz? 52?
Well, in 10 weeks' time, 51. 10 weeks today, the day after my British Championships, I'll be 54.
Fucking hell.
So I'll be 55 next year.
I remember when you just turned 50, that's when you won the
British Championships after one pass.
Yeah.
Sadly. So another trauma turned into power.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's one way or the other, isn't it? It's the same like when my nan died. I won my first British Championships and World Championship after that. It's just you got to turn that trauma into some type of statement. I'll say that. Because that's the thing. And my role is now, I know Von's passed, but she lives through me now. So I live still to make her proud. Knowing she's looking down on me, that she's with me all the time. How spiritual I am. She's not gone anywhere. It was the third anniversary of her passing last week. And still very difficult because anyone who's lost anyone knows that at certain times it takes you right back to those memories. And because of the fact that like Von passed from cancer, and anyone who's seen anyone go through cancer, is the most horrible, cruel disease you can possibly imagine, the way it steals someone's soul and body, and slowly but surely you see them piece by piece being removed from you. So obviously great trauma, like thinking back, but in the same sense, then I know there was only a physical vessel, a body that actually died, that we do actually go on. Fact. Get used to it, guys. Because the thing is, we've just been spun a completely different story. So when you think that this is it, obviously you're going to lead your life one way. But if you know that we're going back home, and we do this trip countless times to learn, it's all part of our life, our soul journey. And that's the thing, the same way that we're learning lessons now, we accumulate those lessons in every life. That's what your Akashic record is. We've been here thousands and thousands of times, leading to this point in time. And
my missus says the exact same thing. She says to me that when we don't pass onto the next level of reality, or whatever you want to call it, until we've learned certain valuable lessons about what our spirit is.
All agreed by us before we come here. Yeah, that's the thing.
And we'll keep, she says, and we'll keep coming back, and we'll keep coming back until we've learned X, Y, and Z. Then, once you've learned the X, Y, and Z, that's when you're allowed then to move on to that next state.
This is the last time.
Yeah.
That's the whole deal about this time. I was telling you about, well, apparently we went through what was called the harmonic convergence in 1998, and that was when the planet changed frequency, and the balance from darkness to light changed, so we became more light. So that's why from this point in time everything's become more evident. We're seeing everything play out now, and like we're going through some serious changes. As soon as we passed by 212, that was it. It's just open territory, because we were supposed to be it at that point, but it was only down to humanity that we changed the frequency on the planet, and now we're going into a new future now, where God knows what will happen in the next couple of years.
I've been sat here since just thinking about, obviously, when your missus passed and stuff. What I've learned this year, I've learned a lot this year, a lot. Like I'm not the same. The life that I'd lived 3 years ago, when you see me at my worst, or 4 years ago. That person feels like a different life, a different body. Do you know, that's how large that gap has become.
Yeah, it's when you can look back on retrospect and see it as a different person.
Yeah.
Because you are a new person in every second.
Absolutely. So trauma, for me, the way that I've learned what trauma is, I've read a few books, I've done a lot of education on it. Trauma, people say talking fixes trauma. It doesn't. Trauma is physically held in the body. It's a physical sense. And I've been sat here thinking, would weightlifting fix that trauma? Because it's physical.
Well, this is the thing. When Von passed, especially the way she passed, remember, she passed in COVID time.
Yeah.
She was literally forgotten. As far as I'm concerned, the government killed my wife. She had 4 vaccines. We know what's coming out about the vaccines. I knew this at the time. But Von was, she was their prime candidate. She was like there washing her hands with the masks and everything, like spraying with the vaccines, and really proud to be part of it. And all that time, like, I knew what was going on. And that's the thing. She had one of those fast-track cancers, and the problems she was suffering with became kind of like just multiplied, really. The more vaccines she had, and she had more and more problems. Went through terrible, she had the ostomy bag, colostomy bag, the heart, everything was failing. Yeah, and this was in the space of like 3 or 4 months. She like started to really deteriorate. But yeah, coming out of that with so much anger. What's a man to do? One way or the other. So, say, having the tools that I'd acquired previously, say the gym was and is my primal scream. That's the place where you can go in. And Alan Watts says about you have to lose yourself to find yourself. So the gym is the best place to do that. And when I train people, like I train them to that level. Literally, you've got to, like, training is kind of an active meditation. So I come from a martial arts background. So that's why I attributed it, all the things I was learning through martial arts, like chi and like different like powers that we have within, into like the bodybuilding part and training in the gym. Because there's not that much difference between smashing blocks of wood with your hand and lifting some humongous weight. All you've got to do literally is channel your spirit into doing that, literally. So, yeah, it did help. Yeah. And the thing is as well, you've got to remember a prep, actually preparing for a bodybuilding competition, is the antithesis of training, really. So this is literally 10, 15 weeks where you get to push your human body to its actual physical and mental max, really. And this is the process I'm going through now. Obviously with a little less trauma involved this time, fueling it. But yeah, it is a great tool. And that's the thing I did. The thing is, they say that the first kind of area to focus on, like if you are suffering in that respect, is your physical body. So once you get your physical body like back in line, that gets your mind back online in with it, really. And the whole deal with training and why it's kind of a form of active meditation is it controls mind, body, and spirit. So the whole deal with yoga is unity. So you get that through your training just the way you would like a normal like yoga pursuit. But I think it to a higher degree as well.
I've read a book, mentioned it a few times, called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk.
Yeah,
he's a psychologist, like one of the leading 21st century psychologists on trauma and how it's held in the body.
Yeah.
And I read something in there and it resonated with me a lot. And it says the body feels before the mind thinks.
Yeah,
like you're saying there.
Yeah.
So an analogy I use quite a lot is you take a soldier, for instance, at war and they get shot. They don't know they've been shot, because the adrenaline's pumping, the stress, fucking...
Yeah, literally.
Trying to stay alive.
I've just done leg day, who's exactly the same.
Yeah. And then somebody will turn to somebody like that, or, oh, we do it, and you've got a cut on your arm, and because you haven't seen it, you don't know it's there.
Exactly.
And then somebody will say to them, you've been shot, and then they look down, oh shit, that's when the body goes, oh no, we're dying.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when you start actively...
But that's the thing, like your spirit's unconquerable, unbreakable, so that's what's powering. But like this brain is just there to like really kind of guide the body in this reality.
The one thing that has empowered me the most over the last 12 months when we talk trauma, I had a lot of stuff. I think we spoke about it on the last episode, and I've mentioned it many times since, about what happened to me when I was a kid and a young boy and stuff. The memories will always be there. It's the emotion that we attach to the memory that creates trauma.
Because remember, you're always recreating that memory in the present moment. Absolutely. That's what keeps it alive. That's the only thing that keeps it alive. So you can change that perspective on it, and it changes the whole outlook, doesn't it?
And one of the best things I've realised or come to realise is that when we talk about memories of the past, we revisit those moments.
Exactly.
But we won't revisit them as, you know, a 50-odd-year-old bodybuilding fucking legend. We revisit them as a child, or as a teenager, or whatever that moment was. We relive that moment as that age. You're in that space, right? And the brain doesn't know the difference between a thought process or belief or reality. So if you're constantly telling yourself something, it's the same with, I've done a lot of work with identity over the last 8-9 months. Really powerful stuff for me. Really, like the most powerful thing I've done since becoming sober around identity. Because we talk labels in the world and people will say, I am this, or I am an addict, and I am blah, blah, or whatever.
Worst ever thing. You said this on one of the shows like this week, and it's the worst ever thing you can do is affirm that you're ill. I am this. I've got this. Yes, you have. How powerful did I say you were? You're manifesting those symptoms, trainer. Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why you should say, I am peace, I am love, I am joy and bliss.
I've got it up there, and it's my identity statement, or my purpose statement. And it says, I awaken the spark in people who feel broken, buried, or beyond help. I am the spark.
I am the spark, I am the light.
Yeah.
That's our job.
That's, again, with this logo, dark and light, yin and yang.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, with the level of spirituality, like, there's a lot of people now who see themselves identifying as light workers now, knowing where they're from and knowing they're here to shine.
Yeah. and it's weird because like I said at the beginning of what we said, when we started speaking, it was one of your words there, and I've always kept them in my head. So I've always thought, what was he going on about there? People are going to either elevate themselves or stay in the same rut.
Yeah.
And I thought about it all the time, but now
it's everywhere now.
We're sat here.
Everywhere. Yeah.
And it resonates so much with fact that...
Well, the thing is now, Lee, you can see the split.
Yeah, I can. I really
the
can.
Split's easy to see. But this is a critical time in history that we're going through now. Say, like what we're going through now, the Lionsgate portal that started on Friday.
What's that?
So the 8th of the 8th. This is the energetic high points of the year. Remember, the calendar's not how it should be. So this is kind of, a point in the year where we can, the energies are there. And that's the thing in ancient cultures, they used to celebrate because it was a time to manifest new energies. So that's the thing. This is the time to manifest dreams into reality. So, that's the thing. There's followed by a full moon yesterday. So there's the energetic high points within the year they know about. They're kept away from us, but say that's why they plan all different things on different dates. That's the thing.
What is your interpretation? How does Daz Cooper manifest?
Through the power of belief, really. And it's like you say, it's like embodying emotions, really. It's having that ability. And you were saying about the neuro-linguistic programming, and it's just getting literally that visualization, but I say that the emotions that go with it, you're actually living it in your physical form before it actually happens. So you're kind of matching the frequency, because that's the thing, everything is frequency. And what we've got to realize is, obviously, we live in an age now where it's becoming recognized about multiverse theory and parallel realities and different things of this. So in that same sense, we've got, obviously, parallel versions of us, depending on our frequency. So if we're in a lower frequency, we're down and down. And everything that we see is down and out and fucking sad. And speaking back to us, life is literally a mirror. Reality is a mirror. And all it does is reflect your inner state. So if you're in a higher state, it's like when I'm going into this show now, I'm just carrying that Rocky feeling all the time with me, literally inspired every day to be the best version of myself every day. And that's the thing, is having that vision of your higher self. Because remember, that's what you are at an energetic level. Like that marvelous brain thing houses this incredible device called the pineal gland, which literally connects you to your higher self, which is beyond the veil. So you've got an etherical higher self, which is kind of guiding this whole experience. This is where your intuition comes in, those feelings inside of guidance. I feel like I should be going this way, because you're literally being guided by your higher mind. So all you're trying to literally try to do, if you're trying to be the best version of yourself, is just to get in contact with that part of yourself. And it's just eliminating all the fuzz and getting into your true heartfelt resonance between your brain and your heart. And this comes from your feeling, because remember, you've got a brain in your heart. Your literal God cell is behind your heart. That's where your energetic center is. That's your kind of your solar chakra, your inner sun. So that dials into your pineal that connects you to your higher self. And that's what you should be leading you in your life, not your physical mind. Your physical mind just controls this reality. It manages your senses and navigates this reality. But your real instincts, your intuition, your guidance comes from within. You know, everything comes from within. Every experience comes from within, but within to without. So you've got to create these experiences that you want for yourself within first, feel it to be able to live it. And that's it. That's to try to live it every day then.
There's something in NLP, neuro-linguistics, called the swish method. And like I said to you before, this year I've given myself 12 months to work on this, to work on the mind, not the brain, to work on the mind. The mind and brain are two different things. So, you know me, I've always been in and around gyms, and I'd come in and go out because of my patterns and because of my behaviours. I'd drop in and drop out. I'd do really well for 3 months, then disappear for fucking 6 months. What I've really learned to focus on this year is start getting patterns right, start getting behaviours right first. So I've done something called the swish pattern around my physical attributes. And what it is, it's basically taking one of your worst forms, visualizing this now in your mind. So one of your worst forms, whether that be lounging around in bed all day, fucking sat there eating shit food day in, day out. And then what you do is you'll embody this version of yourself that you want to become.
Got to see it.
The higher self, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And what you'll do is...
It is actually you.
Yeah, it is. And it literally is. But what you do then is you'll create an image for both. And this image has got colour, sound, movement, everything attached to it, like a film. And then what you do is with the weaker version, you'll make it smaller, you'll make it black and white, you'll take the sound away from it. And the higher you, let's call it, you'll swish it in, make it huge, like a giant. And you keep doing that, and you do it over and over again.
Literally, so you embody that energy.
And what that's doing is it's attaching certain emotions to your thought process. Therefore, it becomes your reality.
Literally.
And that's what the swish method did.
Yeah, all it is focusing on that incredible future instead of dragging yourself through the past. And that's the thing. Even like with the past, like you literally recreated it in the present moment. There's no such thing as the past. You literally recreate it to bring it to life in your own mind in the present.
Well, so that's what I say to a lot of people who struggle with addiction. The problem is because I speak to a lot of people now on addiction, a lot. Not on podcasts, not on social media, on WhatsApp.
No, this is just kind of the invitation to talk, isn't it, really?
And a lot of people, to their own detriment, but they don't know it, they'll talk about the past constantly, and they'll get upset over it. Exactly. So by Joe Dispenza, you must know Joe Dispenza.
I listen to Joe Dispenza every morning. Yeah. He's literally like my morning meditation. I love the guy, and that's the guy who's all about heartbrain coherence.
Yeah. Well, the guy who's mentoring me, very similar person to Joe Dispenza. Just legend.
Hair transplant's gone a bit wrong, but you can't have everything in life.
So when we talk the past, obviously there's no such thing as emotions of the past. The emotions are always present, aren't they?
Exactly.
The memory is in the past.
So you can change the emotion attached to the present.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And unfortunately, this is what I'm trying to tell people, but some people don't want to hear it, which is fine, because Lee's not going to be for everybody.
Because they're holding on to it.
And
literally,
again,
it becomes like part of their ego.
Literally. But the problem is, it's not a problem. I shouldn't say problem. Unfortunately, for some people, trauma and addiction is the most important thing in their life.
Well, because they're defined by it. That's the thing, because they kind of made it who it is. But the thing is, you've got to have a new focus. Yeah. You've got to literally
push that mic.
Meet that higher self, and you've got to. And I've commented on a couple of your things, saying you've got to find your highest bliss. What makes you passionate in life?
Yeah.
What is the thing that you want to do? Yeah. What is your dream come true? You're starting to live it now. You're feeling it. You're on that path. And this is all part of your dharma. So that your dharma, like karma, is your life path. So that's your sense of purpose in life. And once you start to get these type of attributes, you really do think you're on track. And this is why it's so important to get in touch with your higher mind, because this is where you make these plans coming into this reality. but there's not much going on, that much, many shiny things and distractions. It keeps you away, and we're not encouraged to think in that sense. Well, it's ever growing now, but a lot of people do not even know that we literally live in two worlds, physical, metaphysical, both connected with that silver thread, which is what goes when you die, obviously. But, yeah, that's the thing. If people knew, and I said this to my mum before I came, and we were saying about the way that people live their lives. If people knew the fact where they were going after this, they'd see their lives a lot differently to they actually do.
One of the biggest questions that I ask people now who've struggled with addiction or trauma, whatever that might be, because we make this our identity, what they do. They make it who they are at the core, right? So I ask them, who would you be without that story?
Yeah, exactly. You'd be your dream.
And everybody I ask that question to, who would you be without addiction? Who would you be without trauma? And they'll sit there and they're like, well, but then it'll just click. Well, I used to want to work with pets. I wanted to work in zoos. I wanted to be, and I'm like, there you go. Addiction and trauma isn't your identity. There's so much. The guy who sat here last week, it was emotional, man. He sat here and he said to me,
it can reveal it. It can reveal that true passion inside. When you're in your depths, you can have these like thoughts given to you of your higher self, and you're thinking, "Oh my, there is a glimpse." And that's the thing with, I think, a lot of addiction is people trying to fill that God-shaped hole, literally with something, isn't it? And that's the thing, like with because it takes you to that real deep down inner place, and it's like it can be very dark, but I say that's when people have their kind of epiphanies type moments in these worst times, when they get given glimpses that there is light at the end of the tunnel and something to work towards. And that's really the key to breaking out of addiction. You've got to find, all it is, you see your worst self so it can introduce you to your best self, isn't it? But that's why we're here anyway. Don't get dragged down by it, because this is only a very temporary existence when you're an eternal being. Think of it that way, because that's the thing. Like, the stuff I listen to, all the channeled entities and higher dimensional beings, and the way they see this is just like a little blip in the universe. And say we do this so many times, but we get caught up like so much in the whole rat race of it all, that we forget what the real reason is.
What's the real reason for Daz?
Well, the thing is, it's kind of just, well, the real reason is really finding your way back home, but knowing you are going back home, really, because when it starts to dawn on you what this reality really is and how we can shape this reality, and that's the thing, you've talked about very, really strong psychedelics, such as DMT, which can take you completely out of this reality. And Joe Rogan talks about it all the time, the fact that it's like dying and coming back. It literally is that, because that's what happens in the death process. You get this massive burst of DMT, which acts as your spirit portal to get you beyond the veil. That's the tunnels, the whole thing. And that's the thing, when we have the opportunity to literally come back and say you can start to see people and every situation in life completely differently and see it for what it is. I know that everyone in my life is really a reflection of me, because we're all sharing the same consciousness. We're all just aspects of the same consciousness. And once you start seeing it that way, I know I'm here for that purpose. So my only purpose is literally to shine my light, to be in my highest purpose. And I know if I'm in my highest bliss, I'm an example of what can be achieved. And that's the thing. You act as like a source of inspiration and motivation for your brothers and sisters. So I'm here to help everyone I see in my life, using my experience, using what I've learned through trauma and everything. I get presented with these situations. We know how reality works. It can be very magical. And that's the thing, when you do become like properly spiritually aware, you become aware of something called synchronicity and the fact that how things happen. And you can find yourself in situations, it's knowing in that present moment that you're in that situation for a specific reason, for this specific person, and to give them a message. And this is the thing, that's why we're here. That's how our lives can be. We're all here for each other. That's the thing, you end up in these conversations and it's like strange sometimes, isn't it? And the way that we can relate to people, and we find we're talking to the right person at that right time about that right thing. It's just ended up that way. But that's the thing, like, and by just experience DMT, the truth is a lot stranger than fiction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I've been contemplating. There's an ayahuasca ceremony that I've been asked to go to next month in Snowdon.
Can I come with you?
Yeah. So I got asked to do it in March time. So I thought, yeah, I'll do it. But the more I'm learning...
It's like you were talking about DMT the other day, and there's a fear attached because it is so otherworldly. Literally, yeah.
But the more I'm learning about it, the more I'm starting to understand and feel that even though that people say they have a spiritual breakthrough and stuff, I've done DMT, obviously. I feel as though the breakthroughs are happening already.
Yeah.
I'm finding all these spiritual breakthroughs, and I always thought spirituality and religion were sort of the same.
No.
But I've come to realise that nothing like...
No.
No.
If anything, like religion's there to disguise spirituality. Jesus was there to teach you what I'm teaching you now. It's just that you are the spirit within and you are the Christ. And this is the thing with the whole second coming. The whole second coming is Christ's consciousness of being reawakened in humanity. It's not someone coming back here to save us. It's everyone waking up to what Jesus was preaching about. The fact that you have the power, like heaven is within you. And that's the thing. Once you start realizing that, that's what changes reality.
It's funny because...
Everyone focuses on outside, and that's the whole thing with church. Oh, go to church, and you have to do this, and you have to do this. You have to speak to him, pray to him, through him, to talk to God. You can't do it yourself. Innit? You need us.
It's funny because...
But you, in essence, you are God.
Yeah, and
Really.
that's where I was going with it, because... So when we talk addiction again, because again, I revert back to addiction as a lot, because that's where I feel as though that's where I know my purpose is sort of aligned with at this moment in time.
Exactly, having been through trauma, so like we're there to help.
So people will say, when we take a 12-step program, 12-step works to keep people sober. But what I believe it does, I believe it locks them in this cage of growth so they can't then elevate themselves. Because what they say is, the only way to truly become abstinent from addiction is to give yourself to your higher power, whatever that may look like.
Literally, yeah. You've got to give the reins over. That's what I've done now, really.
But like you're saying there, the higher power's within.
The higher power is you.
Exactly.
Well, that's what you realise in DMT. It's all you. You're generating that experience.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, how you connect. Well, this is the thing that and I've had quite a few DMT experiences.
Yeah.
I'm quite an adept psychonaut.
You're a pro.
A shaman, really. And it's a journey. And I say it's like removing those like onion layers to reveal like your true self. And that's the thing, like when you learn that this is not all it is, and the fact is we're just here for this literal reason, to shine our lights. And yeah, you say everything changes from that point onwards then.
What's the tattoo on the head? What's that about? I know was that your newest one?
Well, that's the thing that with synchronicity that you can see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see it on camera with the butterfly. But after Von passed, I saw white butterflies everywhere.
Did you?
So that's the thing, like Von loved. So I knew that was the sign. So that's why I had it etched on my head as a memorial tattoo to my wife.
Was it?
Yeah, literally.
Nice.
Hurt.
I was going to say, that doesn't look like...
Like having brain surgery without any anaesthetic. Like, think about it, brother. It's a vibrating needle on the top of your head.
I've got plenty of tattoos myself. I just wouldn't put them on my fucking skull.
Skull.
Yeah.
It's very close to your brain.
Yeah. So I was,
but necessity. I needed to get this done.
Yeah.
I say it's become my new identity now, isn't it? Really, I've changed a
or
lot.
part of you, yeah.
I've changed a lot since Von passed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In what sense?
Not just the way I see things. I appreciate everything and everyone a lot better. So I think I've got an angelic force guiding me in this reality.
I think I'm very similar to that now.
I don't think I've lost Von. I think she's here with me now.
Yeah. Since I became sober, I believe now that I do believe. I believe that, I speak about it quite a lot, that people will talk about end goals and achievements. The achievement is life itself, however that may look to you.
Exactly. There's no purpose to it really other than that, just being yourself. So Bashar says, he said it's all about just following your bliss. When that runs out, follow your bliss, follow your bliss. Everyone thinks there's this sense of purpose. I need to leave a mark, and I need to do this, need to do that. All you need to do is be yourself.
Yeah.
And try doing that, being your authentic self. And that's what you're being now. And that's why this is becoming such a success, because everyone's seen the real you. And that's amazing.
Yeah. So when we talk purpose, I believe that everybody does have a purpose deep down at their core.
Literally.
But
skills, talents, everything.
Skills, behaviours, values,
talents,
all
everything.
that.
Yeah, little things that are kind of covered up.
I think a lot of people talk purpose and they don't truly know what it means.
No.
And like you said, inner purpose, inner work, inner child, inner power, whatever you want to call it. If you can connect to that, that's when you find purpose.
Yeah, well, it's like you've said about this inner child. This is the thing. I don't think I have grown up. That's the thing. Working at 15 years at WizKids taught me this. And this was a very important stage in my life. Because that's the thing, when you work with kids, the type of job, because I was a party host in local play centre WizKids for 15 years. I did 4,500 parties in that time for all the local kids. Such a privilege and an honour to be able to, as a parent, I know how important that special day is to kids. So to be able to have the opportunity to make that extra special for them was a dream come true. Very difficult job, as you can imagine, especially when I was dieting for contests on low carbohydrates on the weekends.
And there's cake everywhere.
But that's the thing with kids. It took me out of myself. And when you take yourself out of yourself and lower yourself to their level, and you can see the world through their eyes, everything's... The thing is, when you grow up, and people lose that inner child, only because they pick up all these unessential things in life that become baggage, weigh them down and literally disguise their true purpose in life. But kids are connected and they've got that dream instinct. And that's the thing, everything's new for them. And every moment's new, and anything that's in their head will come out instantly. And that's the thing, we can learn so much from kids. And half the time, parents will just go, shut up.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah.
And, but that's with ego.
I've learned a lot about attachment theory. Attachment theory. So when we're kids, again, it's something that I've spoke about a lot. When a kid will say to their mum and dad, look, mum, look at dad, look what I've done here. Look at this drawing, or look at this castle that I've made, and they go, busy. That withdraws children, and it's through that society, through that lack of, I don't want to say nurture, but I will, yeah, nurture.
It's like you said, those little things when you were a kid are stored in your subconscious mind when you're older.
Yeah,
and
that's what creates this perception of life's shit, is never going to be good.
Life's a miracle.
Life's beautiful.
Life's a blessing. When you lose someone who's close to you, and then you look at other people living their lives, and my missus are to be back here and be here with their kids, and you think how precious life is when it's you only sense how precious it is when it's taken away, literally. But yeah, people need to wake up and realize how precious and beautiful life can be. How amazing people can be. I say I love people. I love characters. That's why I love Flint, because it's full of legends. You being one. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's true characters. That's what life's all about. Real people. I love that because I know they're all part of my family.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When you see it from that level, I see myself as everyone's brother, literally, because I know I am. That's what that means. And you said it in Lakesh. So I am another you.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
And that was the biggest message I took away from DMT. I am you, we are nothing, we are everything.
Well, that's why war needs to end now, because that's the thing. We're getting to a point in history now where it's ludicrous. We shouldn't be killing each other. What do you think they're thinking, looking down on us? Literally. Yeah, it's so primitive behaviour, but we're awakening up now. People don't want that. No. Humanity doesn't want that. There's a small select few in this world that's still trying to continue with that reality so they can continue with their power. But the game's over. And like within a couple of years, I can guarantee, I'll tell you this now, but me saying like about that in 2000, like things will dramatically, the next 2 years, by 2027, we're going to get some real dramatic changes.
Well, we're not going to be here the way it's looking with this fucking... Have you seen this comet that's coming early next year? No. Like 7 miles long. Have you seen it, Cal?
Well, this is part of it, right? Because all it's been is just, they've took one piece of information and, well, automatically they think it's hostile.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they
trajectory
have got that assumption, just the fact that it's there. It must be hostile. Because have you seen that movie? And that's what it comes down
Bring
to.
Bruce Willis or Will Smith.
Every movie you think about has pointed this like negative. There's always a negative thing like about invasion and aliens, but in reality, it's our family.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
My missus thinks I'm mental when I say we came from aliens. We were put on this earth. She thinks I'm fucking mental when I say, but I definitely
called panspermia. That theory in science.
Is it? Yeah.
If biological matter was on a comet and a comet hits the Earth.
Well, it's not even that, is it?
Pans what? Panspermia.
You know, you must have. Are we able to divulge this information? We knew it was going to go in some type of strange direction, didn't we?
We knew aliens were going to be spoken about eventually.
But literally, we were seeded by the Palladians. This happens. They were seeded by the Ictorians. They were seeded by the Syrians. And it's like literally a family thing. Our DNA is completely different to anything on Earth. Everything is 24, and like we've got like one hidden like DNA that's multidimensional. That's the bit that was changed. That's coming online now. So that's the thing. We're going through quite a few like solar flares and different things happen in the sky now. But it's not just heat and sunshine that comes from that sun. It's energetic codes which start to literally like change our DNA at a biological level. So we're becoming more multidimensional. That's when we're all feeling different. Time speed, everything's changing. The concept of time is speeding up now. Different strange little feelings like people are having, that we're in a different world. So that will become more apparent in the next couple of years. That's why we're going through this now.
Well, I wonder if it's them coming home then, mate.
Yes, it is.
7 miles long. This
I said it here.
They reckon it's just past Neptune or fucking somewhere.
Apparently. This is how it's supposed to go. The end of next year, we're supposed to have like a mass, like kind of like round the world, just that visual representation of the ship above the sky all around the world. But that leads to open contact in the end of 2027. So they've known this information. They've hijacked the information and tried to turn it into something else. So obviously, if you've got that, and if they can change it to a negative, then they're going to, it's been their whole game all along. It's just fear. Fear. It's a fear pandemic.
False evidence appearing real.
Well, that's the thing. That's the news, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I've spoken about this.
False evidence appearing real.
The news never report anything that's...
They project it as real, but we know it's just a program on television at the end of the day. It's not your reality.
It always makes me laugh, that false evidence appearing real. Have you ever seen Pain and Gain, the film?
Yeah.
With Mark Wahlberg. That's a Johnny Woo theme. That's a fucking brilliant film, that is.
I know, brilliant.
What's the next 12 months then, talking about bodybuilding? What's the next 12 months old for Daz?
Well, the thing is, the next 10 weeks is like preparation for British Championships. So I'll be trying to win the British in 10 weeks, and then we've got the World Championships 4 weeks after that. So I was like runner-up in both competitions last year. So, just stepping it up and tried to go the extra little bit now. And, it's just really becoming the best version of me. I'm not putting any pressure on myself for competition and titles and that. At the end of the day, I just want to be the best version of me.
What's Daz's values? Because, I mean, like I said before, the way you live and breathe fucking physical and mental well-being. That's when you think of Daz Cooper. We said it before. I said to him, I said, Daz is coming on, be a very, very spiritual conversation, he said. Yeah. Because we know Daz is about, I mean, you're 50-odd years old and you look better than most fucking 25-year-olds. Well, you do. That's a fact. What values do you hold? Because, like, I messaged you, when was it, the other week, when we said we were going to do this, and it was like 8:20, and you said, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, because I'm up at 4 o'clock.
Because you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, so what values?
Well, that discipline comes from when I was like literally like young teenager. Literally, it's just inbuilt from that time. And the weird thing is, because like after Von died, I gave my house to my sons, so they'd have that perfect start in life. Yeah. So I've gone back and living with my mum and dad. I say my mum's got cancer, so it's I was saying about being in the right time in the right place. That's the place where I should be now, being with my mum and dad, living that part of their lives. It's brilliant. I love it. I love being back at home. But that's the thing. Like what was the question again? Sorry.
What are your values? What does Daz Cooper value when it comes to physical and mental well-being?
Being able to give back, I think. That's the thing, like with it, I know that I'm only getting to a point so I can literally reach more. And that's the thing with my life in the next stage, because I've been quite closeted like with what I do and who I am. Yeah, but I need to get out there like yourself. And I know that I've got a bigger message to preach. Yeah. And like more so from that older guy perspective, I think that's like part of my real purpose, like now at this stage, because I talk to like a lot of guys in their early 40s who like think their life is over. And I'm like, no, it's just begun. Yeah. Literally, now is your time. And it's just getting a grip of things again. And you know this. As soon as you start to get a grip of your life and take control, you can literally take in any direction you want, depending on what you want to create, which stems from your passion. And yeah, that's the thing, just exploring like different parts of me. You know, I'm very creative in nature. And like after like Von passed, like I started getting singing lessons because I started to want to explore a dream. So yeah, I'll take that a next stage further as well. I want to be in a band. Yeah.
You'll sort you out.
Here now. But that's the thing, I've been like literally like training. And it's a lot of training goes into being a singer, just like bodybuilding really.
Play fucking 20 different instruments,
Oh my God. Should we join the band? Should we make a band?
He travelled around Europe with Pete Doherty.
What was I saying about synchronicity?
Yeah.
But this is the thing, like, because I train Lee Mesham for that same reason, because he's a guitarist, used to be in a band. Yeah. But that's my next stage.
He's got like a producing studio in his house.
Well, this year is like kind of, I don't want to say retirement year, but that's what I'm training with that perspective in mind.
If you ever want to make music, mate, go and see him. He'll look after you.
Well, I do. I've been with, my singing teacher, Philippa Kitchen.
I know Philippa. I work with Philippa.
Oh, my God. So
he knows every fucker when it comes to music, mate.
Well, this is the thing. Mike Clark put me on to the guy. Exactly. So that's the next part of mine. I've always loved music.
My first guitar teacher, man.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, when I was a kid, it was like, because we had real bands back then, it was kind of like big bands like U2 that music got me through, music and bodybuilding. So now, having lived the bodybuilding bit, I'm going back to the music bit.
I think music is brilliant for when we talk trauma and emotions.
Trauma and emotion. Like, imagine how I connect with music now I've lost my missus, like how I can feel. She's become my muse, so like every time I sing, it's literally like for her. And that's the thing, like, when you get into it and learning how to properly, oh my God, it's just as hard, if more difficult than training in the gym, because it's all vocal exercise and breath work and different things.
I can sing.
Yeah.
Right. I like Callum.
Go about 1 hour. Real.
Very superstitious. Writings on the wall.
Yeah,
if you want, like say, if you want to make any song music, mate, you can make it from scratch.
Well,
in his
let's
house.
see now. Let's say I've said now. So that's the thing. Not a lot of people know I do this. Like, but if anything, it's my little like secret. It's my passion. It's my true passion. And when I'm with Philip, say like it's exploring and building and creating a different part of me. And the thing is, like with singing, you know yourself, you have to literally detach from ego. And initially you think you can sing, and it's like, oh shit, it's like pulling it back to basics and starting again. Well, and now I can get the mechanics of it. Yeah, I love it.
The thing is, these have always been parts of you. You just connected more and more to identity.
Literally that. But that's the thing. It's only when you clear all the flack that you're able to explore like your true passions. And I'm very, very lucky and privileged in life to have the parents I have that have allowed me to like pursue my dream. Obviously, there's not been a lot of money involved in this dream so far, but I've had an incredible life. Literally, like, I'm a double world champion, and I've like flown all around the world and competed in the different parts of the world, like for my country, which is an absolute honour. I'm not rich, but
thing is, mate, you're aware of that, right?
It's something different than just having money.
I'm
rich in the sense that I've got amazing friends. And I lived the most incredible experiences. Like recently, I'm a security guy at Glastonbury. Yeah. So I'm like stood there, centre stage, surrounded by 10,000 people. I'm like, how did this even happen? Literally.
I think though, mate, I think you're aware of what it is to live a life of purpose, life of identity where, don't get me wrong, money's helpful. And it's easy for me or us to sit here when we haven't got fucking 2 pennies to share around.
But the thing is, and what people may find, there may be some massive financial crash soon. So when that goes, what have you got?
so this is what I was just going to say. A lot of people get trapped in that hedonistic lifestyle. It traps you.
A lot.
It becomes...
And their life is purposely just building money. But if that goes, what are they left with?
It's like it's the same with addiction. It entraps you. It's almost symbiotic, like Venom. That's why I've bought a load of Venom t-shirts.
Symbiotic, yeah.
Or like Dracula feeding. That's what that lifestyle becomes. But I genuinely believe I've had money in the past, mate. I've had money. I've had quite a lot of money. But it was probably the saddest time in my life, and I'm not blaming anybody else for that.
No, it comes and goes.
Accountability for me now is huge, right?
Secret is being exactly the same whether you're rich or poor. Whether you got £2 in the bank or fucking 1,000.
Well, they say, don't they? You know, you give somebody £10 million and you'll see the real person, whoever they are. Again, it's something that I've mentioned a lot. Is a doctor when he done a speech and he said he's been at the bedside of thousands of dying patients. And not one of them's ever asked to look at their bank account. Not one of them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You know, it's the people around you, the people that you love in your life.
Exactly, the people you love.
Yeah.
Literally. When it comes back down to it, life is very, very simple. It's literally about love and connection. It's about everyone and everything around you and how we connect to it and our relationship to it, how we value it, how we see it reflects on us. That's what I mean. We can live our life like so many different ways, but when you start to see the truth of this reality and how it could really be, it can be really magical. But it takes a lot of inner work to be able to remove that baggage, to be able to see it for what it truly is. Really,
it's funny. I'm really starting to, irrespective of who's sitting across from me, there's this common theme that's happening. Whether that somebody speaks about the beginning of the theme, the middle or the end, or like this, we can speak about the beginning, middle, and the end.
Yeah.
Some people aren't ready for the middle. Some people aren't ready for the end. And that's okay. That's their reality. That's who they are at this moment in time. But there's just this common theme at the moment of simplicity being so value added to your life. Again, I've mentioned it a few times. A guy, when I first started doing the online podcast last year, I spoke to a guy in Dublin who wrote a book called Keep It Simple. And it's just like, what people say to me sometimes, what advice have you got for somebody who's really, really struggling, really going through the depths of their own disparity or whatever? It's just like, keep your days so simple that you don't have to think about the process. Therefore, that process is natural, and you just build slow. That's why I've given myself 12 months this year.
I think a big part of this, what I was saying about giving people like tips as well, is that morning routine. Because it's the way that people subconsciously just go straight into the phone and forgetting that they've just woken up, so that those first 20, 30 minutes is what's kind of like pre-programming your brain for that day. So that's the thing, realising that and how important that time is. It's important to put the right things in at that time. And that's what I was saying about, I do the Joe Dispenza like morning affirmations. So you can get that right information, so you're on the right track, so you can set it. So that's the thing, you start to create your reality. That's what you've got to, everyone thinks that everything happens by accident, and they couldn't be further from the truth. If anything, everything is a divine orchestration and is there in perfect timing, if you're aware.
One of the biggest things, the guy, John, who's teaching me, he said to me, and it resonates so much, we don't get in life what we want, we get in life who we are.
Yeah.
Who we are. Not what you put into it.
Exactly.
Because you could put all the hard work into something, but if that's not who you are, you'll never get the benefits of it.
Yeah, exactly. So, because you start to reflect that.
Yeah.
They say life is reality is that mirror. They say anything within when it comes around. That's why it's important to set those affirmations. So you literally, that's the thing, you got to look at his brain. That's a computer. So all you do is programming your computer. And get that reset button off for meditation and then start to reprogram.
Well, I didn't realise that. So REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, one of the biggest or the most powerful forms of therapy at the moment is called EMDR, eye movement and desensitization and reprocessing.
Yeah.
And what they do is that it dissociates emotion from the memory. Therefore, the reality of the past or whatever you want to call it is different. Because a lot of the time with traumatic experiences, the way we depict them in our mind and the way we
relive it,
it's probably not the reality of what happened anyway.
At all.
It's just we're so heightened.
Well, anything that happens is neutral, really. We give it meaning.
Exactly.
So
when you were saying there, when we're sleeping, so when we're awake, we're uploading, right? Whatever that may look like. When we're sleeping, you go into REM sleep and your eyes move side to side. You're downloading. And that's a concept that I've took on a lot.
Well, that's the thing, that when you're sleeping, you're reconnecting to your spirit self, your ethereal self. That's the thing, you just cruise in different parallel dimensions, visiting different versions of yourself, learning different lessons, so you wake up. But the weird thing is you wake up and think that's the dream. Yeah. That was the real bit. Then you wake up in a dream. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm still asleep.
I've had a lot of lucid dreams, vivid, powerful dreams over the last couple of weeks.
We'll become more and more connected. That's the thing, that there is like messages in there, really. This all for you.
I had a dream the other night, mate, and I thought it was real when I woke up. I said to my missus, I got up, I said, did I try and jump out the fucking window last night? She went, what? She said, you were crying in your sleep. And I was like, I can remember, I thought it was real, that I was crying, got up out of bed and jumped out the window.
Yeah.
That's mental.
I had the mad one the other week. Yeah, I won't even record it because I thought it's to do with my dog, and it was horrible. But
was it?
You get so upset in those dreams, and that's the thing, more real than this.
I was literally crying, but my missus said, she said you were crying, like you were actually crying.
Yeah, man.
Crazy, mate. Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's just, this is a vessel, so you're just expressing what's going on in there, isn't it? Literally, no matter where you are.
It's funny because, again, I mentioned it before we start, I talk about the golden spiral, right? How you spiral, as you're elevating consciousness, elevating knowledge, ability, you'll always end up coming back to the beginning at one point. So it's funny because every time we've spoke over the years, there's been a lot of things that I didn't understand what you were talking about. I just thought Daz is some mad fucking hippie or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I am that. It's just you're a mad hippie now. We're all mad hippies now. Exactly.
But it's mad, isn't it? How we've gone full circle, and I'm sat here with you now.
And that's why I said why I'm so incredibly proud of you.
And I can understand what you're saying, and also I'm on that same frequency, same level, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, that's the thing, though. We're all Spartans. Like, the people who are supposed to wake up will wake up at this time.
And you were right.
How can you not, really?
You were one of the people where I'd always struggle. I remember I'd come into the gym sometimes. I get emotional thinking about it.
Yeah, I know.
And you'd say to me, like, yeah, I can see you struggling and all this.
Yeah, because that's the thing, that's the thing, we're different versions of each other. Yeah.
But now it's like...
You know, you're the height.
Yeah, you were right in the end. You were right, because we're here and it's happening. And
now you're living
it's only the beginning, mate.
And you're living a completely different reality because of that, because of the energy you're reflecting out. And you're doing so much good in this film, mate, and helping so many people. And that must feel incredible.
It does. I love it.
Exactly. So instead of being us, like, alone and separate, say I was that little kid in the room, like, fucking hiding away in the shadows, and say it's just a matter of us blossoming, really, like flowers, into our true self. And that's when you can properly shine. And you're just starting to shine. And so I'm there with you, brother.
Appreciate it, mate.
Yeah.
Job
When we form our band next year, we'll come back.
You can. I tell you what, you can make a fucking song between us.
Oh my God!
And we'll put it as the intro to the podcast.
My God. Should we do that?
Yeah, I'd do it. Yeah, I'd do it definitely. I'd do that. Just that very superstitious at the end.
Literally. Yeah, but that's the thing. Why not?
Yeah,
why not?
I'll do it. Yeah,
literally.
That'd be cool. I did ask him about 2 years ago, but he fucked me off. He wouldn't make one. Too busy. 50% genius, 50% axe murderer.
Yeah, same. It's a thin line.
Yeah. Listen, mate, that's it. I appreciate it.
I've loved every minute, and it's flown by so quickly. It seems like we have to come back at a couple of months' time, isn't it?
Absolutely. The beauty of this is, mate, and we mentioned this last time, it took a bit longer.
Well, the thing is, I'll be back after the World Championship.
Yeah.
As World Champion. Did I say that?
The beauty of this is it's not a one-stop shop.
No, at all.
We talk about what we need to talk about now.
Well, it's the power of conversation.
Exactly.
And just us kind of like having this time now. Say that we've gone places that I've not been.
Yeah.
Since you've seen me. You've probably never seen me like that. I was like kind of the fractured little kid talking before when I was talking about what I went through as a teenager.
I see it straight away.
I've never been back there since I talked about it then.
And
and understand this, like, the only other person I've told this to was Vaughn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
literally. That's where the emotion stems from, because you've I get it.
That's
I get it.
How close and guarded like I was about that part of my life.
And I think that's a big thing for you then, because, well, it is a big thing for you because everybody knows Daz Cooper, but nobody really knows Daz Cooper. Do you know what I mean?
Well, now they've got a little bit of like what made Daz Cooper.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
The thing with being older now. I have been around a long time. Been doing the bodybuilding for nearly 40 years now.
Have you?
And that's the thing. It's been a great thing because I've seen the evolution of the sport. And thankfully, it's been the evolution of me as well. Because it's when bomb passed, it kind of resurrected my bodybuilding career. Really. At a point, I would have kind of retired. I came back into the sport, and now I'm very privileged and honoured to be a professional with a PCA, and very proud to be part of them. Yeah. Yeah. So living the dream. We both are, dude. And that's what life is about, living the dream.
I'll be on the Rogan podcast one day.
Exactly. You know that.
I'll be on there.
It's like, but that's the thing now with any idea. It always started like from that small,
spark.
Little spark. The Under Armour guy was making American football shirts out of a garage. You know what I mean? It always starts with an idea, but that's what creation is, an idea.
Yeah,
and all it does is blossom in time. But all we do is feed it with our passion.
Follow the energy.
Follow the energy. Get on that flow. That's the thing. It's all about the flow. But that's the thing. Life isn't stagnant. It's a constant flow with energy. Linear. So it's just letting the guards off, really, and just going for it. You've got to go for it in this life.
Fucking am.
You're not here for long.
No.
Exactly. And we know how quickly people can be taken.
Yeah.
So it's important to savor every moment in this life.
Appreciate it, mate.
I appreciate you,
Job
brother.
done.